Hi, I'm Vince Graves, Technical Advisor at Sega Manufacturing, and today we're going to discuss troubleshooting your vertical drop system in the SM22 vending machine. Your vertical drop system vends your beverages, and it allows you to vend a varied variety of beverages in a small space with a high quantity. For the purposes of this troubleshooting video, we've removed a delivery system and set it on this table. Now we can discuss the components in your vertical drop system. First of all, the auger. This spins counterclockwise and vends the drinks through the delivery system. Here we have our rear spacer. This is adjustable and needs to be approximately a finger's width from the rear beverage. Moving forward in the lane, we have the sold out flap, which runs the sold out switch, and when drinks are loaded properly, pushes the switch open and allows the control board to know that there are drinks in that lane. Below that we have the motor that drives the auger. Under the motor we can see the cam, which is attached to the auger. The cams are different whether it's a bottle lane or a can lane. Bottle lanes have one lobe, can lanes have two. These strike the home switch as they rotate and tell the auger when to stop. Below that we have an adjustment. We'll discuss how this works in just a moment, but this allows us to open or close where the auger stops and what position it vends. Inside the lane, underneath the auger, there's an adjustable shim. This shim catches the second or the third beverage in the lane, allowing it to vend only on the second rotation. It's adjustable depending on the size and diameter of your bottle. This fits back in your lane using 3 metal tabs and seats easily. The first thing we want to troubleshoot is a double vend. That's when we make a single selection and we've dropped 2 beverages instead of 1. The first thing we want to check with our double vend situation is that our shim is in its proper place, seated and adjusted properly, that our rear spacer is in the appropriate spot, and that our home switch is adjusted properly. If it opens too far, it will allow the second beverage to vend instead of catching on the shim. So to adjust our home switch, we want to make sure our lane is empty. We pull the thumb screw. They come set from the factory at 5. We want you to adjust in 1-point increments, or approximately 1/8 of an inch. In a double vend, it's usually the case that the home switch is allowing the auger to open too far, which means we want to move this switch clockwise in 1-point increments. Tighten our thumb screw, load 2 rows of drinks into our lane, and vend approximately 5 drinks, 1 single vend at a time, to make sure that they're running properly. The second thing we want to troubleshoot is jams in the lane. The first thing that happens when a jam occurs in a lane is we want to make sure our rear spacer is adjusted properly and that we have the correct product in the proper lane. These lanes are marked can and bottle. The bottle lanes are set up here at the factory to vend 16.9 and 20 ounce bottles. Can lanes are set to run 12 ounce cans, 3 deep. Bottle lanes, 2 deep. There is a full list of tested beverages, how to load them, and where to set your preset settings, both in a video at Sega.com and in your owner's manual. You want to make sure if you've got a jam, you've consulted that, made sure your products are loaded properly, and that they are in the right lane. The third item that we want to troubleshoot is when you get no vend. You make a single selection and you get no product. So when you get no product, again, we want to make sure that our shim is properly adjusted, not open too far or closed too far. Again, you can see the owner's manual for some tips. We want to make sure that they've been loaded properly. You want to make sure your auger was at 3 o'clock when you loaded that first row of drinks. If the auger's opening was facing down, the auger never had a chance to load before its last spin, so there won't be any drinks to drop. We want to make sure that the drinks are all the way forward in the lane, pushing this metal flap down so that our sold out switch is not contacted. If they're not all the way forward and this makes any contact with the roller switch, your machine thinks that there's no product in the lane and it will not vent. Another problem with a non-vend situation is that your auger is not turning far enough to reach the opening at the bottom and vend the drink. So again, we want to empty our lane, go in 1 point increments, but we're going to go counterclockwise this time. Open the auger up, load it back up, do 5 single test vends, and make sure that those products are vending properly. To do a test vend, a single test vend on your machine, you want to open up your machine, press the blue service menu button on your circuit board, which is in the back, the blue button on the bottom right. You'll hear it beep. You'll then press the number 8. Then we can make any selection that we want to, and it will give us one single vent. Right now we're going to do lane 143, and you'll see the auger spin 1 time. When adjusted properly, that would have vended 1 drink. There'll be 1 left in the auger. We'll spin it 1 more time to bring it back to its home position. This position, known as home, with the opening facing top right or the 3 o'clock position, is where the lane always needs to be when you start to fill it and place your drinks inside. There is a video that you can watch that shows you how to load, but that's how you do a test vent.